I'd like to take some questions from the audience. We have 2 microphones in the aisles if you just want to come up and, yeah, go ahead.
Were you influenced by any particular directors or films while you were making your film?
What is influenced by any particular filmmakers?
Oh, yes, of course. I could name several Chilean filmmakers who did very interesting film before Pinochet. Aldo Francia, Miguel Litín, Raúl Ruiz, y Patricio Caulen. Those films are in a weird combination of documentary and fiction. All of them, they were very influenced by the Nouvelle Vague. But if I have to talk about modern filmmakers, contemporary, I would obviously have to name the Dardenne brothers. And I don't know, I'm a cinephile or whatever, so it's a combination of things, but I think the Dardenne works really shocked me. And if I take that from the Chilean filmmakers that I just mentioned, that's what my most important influence are, I think.
If, other questions? I would like to ask you myself, actually, going off of the idea of the Dardenne brothers, who, also have often this kind of handheld visual style following a single character over the course of several days or weeks. Can you talk a little bit more about the visual style, particularly how you achieved the colors in the film, which are very unusual and memorable?
The color?
Yeah.
What you usually, when you shoot a film, you have a lot of technology on your side. You shoot it on, we shoot it in Super 16, which is film, and then you have the whole digital process which gives you a lot of tools to make it beautiful or whatever you want to do. And we didn't use anything. So the people on the post-production companies were very surprised. Like, they didn't have to do it. And I would, I'm sorry, I don't want to do anything, just don't touch it. Because if you see old former films, what you could get to see is that look that you just saw it's a look that is not being touched. That technology that we have now, it's not it's something that they usually didn't have, like 20 years ago. So that's what we did. We didn't do anything. If there's anything new on it, is that we didn't do anything. And in another side, to getting back to your question about the Dardennes, I think they have done some really extraordinary films. Based on characters that you don't really know much about them. You don't know if you like them or not. You don't know if they're good persons or not, or whatever. But what I learned from them is that just one person could talk to you about a whole world. One person could be a huge metaphor of an entire society. So you don't need a huge story. You don't need a complicated script. You don't need to have a lot of characters. Maybe just one guy in one day, in 1 or 2 hours of his life, could show you about this world, and that's enough. Less is more.
We're almost out of time, but I did want to ask you, because you were telling me last night that you were very happy to be here at the New York Film Festival as sort of the first representative of what you expect to be an exciting new wave of films by young filmmakers in Chile, that in the next few years we're going to be seeing a lot of first-time films or second-time films, that are really going to draw our attention the way this one has. Why do you think it's this moment in Chilean culture that we seem to be on the verge of this new wave of filmmakers?
Yeah, Well, I'm very honored to be here, as I said before. And yes, I think there's a whole new generation of very good filmmakers. They're making their own films, and not all of, just this is the only one who's based in the past. So Pinochet is not just one, our only subject. There's a lot of more stuff that you'll see it. So I'm the one who's obsessed with it, but there's a lot of young people like me or others who's really working on it. Because of the Pinochet thing, you know, it was 20 years that you could not make a film, or maybe just a few of them. So there's a whole generation who had to leave the country or just to do something else. And so the production of film was really stopped it. And then after democracy came back, it slowly came up, you know, again. And all the people like me who grew in democracy were able to make films, you know. And there's a few of them, and I have to say, a few of them who reads everything that this guy writes, and that will make they're making pretty interesting films. And I think that's very important, because Argentinians already did it. They already have a very good artists and filmmakers that are making films that are interested all over. And you know them, we know them, most of people know them. And Lucrecia Martel, that she will be here soon with A Headless Woman. It's a wonderful film, you should come and see it. But I think that Chilean filmmakers will make it, and will be here soon, some of them, hopefully, because there's a whole new generation who grew freely in a way, and they want to connect with the rest of the world with good stories, good films, and that is something that will happen, and I'm very proud of it.
Pablo, thanks so much.
Thanks for coming. Thank you very much.